One of the disadvantages of having a gun-ho sort of vacation is that you're so used to moving and moving and moving that when you finally land somewhere, there's this disgusting sense of calm. Now, most people in that particular scenario would cherish moments like this, but you know what? I don't know if I do. Because this sort of stuff I see on a regular basis while kayaking, so you can't really, razzle dazzle me with it. For all practical purposes, this is Tampa Bay. I could practically see St. Petersburg and Tampa over there. If only. Yeah, part of the reason why is because Florida just looks exactly the same. Take it from somebody who has crisscrossed it from here to there. I think at this point the only area where I haven't been in Florida is the Florida Panhandle I-10 corridor, leading to Tallahassee, Pensacola. That was kind of like my backup trip, and now with the advent of everything that happened with the hurricane and devastation and everything, I think it's going to be a while till I have an opportunity to actually go there. Sun is kind of behind me. Right now it's about 5 and change o'clock. I actually had this crazy idea to leave the campground and, I don't know, explore something, but then I realized how boring Marathon is. Which, by the way, if you decide to come to Florida Keys, there's places that you could just don't even bother. Marathon is one of them. Marathon looks like, and I apologize if you have property in Marathon or if you do live in Marathon, there's just nothing. You drive through it and it's just a hodgepodge of but anyways, there's lots of places like that in the Keys, and it's probably why majority of it seems to have gravitated to like hot spots. Isla Morada, for example, is more touristy than Marathon is. Marathon is more of for people who actually live there. At least Isla Morada has things like Bass Pro Shops, for example. Just be able to enjoy other things. Being on Marathon right now, Marathon is this lone island that just seems to go forever. Starts at 7 Mile Bridge and then just keeps going and going north. And so there's really nothing to do. Nothing at all. It's not like I'm gonna go to Home Depot. So, and that's probably why this particular campground has a completely different vibe. Here, let me pan the camera around. This is the beach. You would expect there to be children, families, loved ones holding hands, cuddling, sitting on the towel, enjoying picnic sort of thing. And yet, everybody is largely inside their RVs. There's nobody outside. I've walked the entire campground and there's nobody there. I've seen a couple of lazy people walk to that building over there that you see in the background, which is showers and stuff. And you might ask yourself, well, why is that? That's only because a majority of people they want something more. They want a more active sort of vacation, I'm guessing. And there's really nothing to do here. But maybe it is good for somebody, like just sitting here looking at the clouds, Thankfully, we're gonna get a sunset. The whole sunset issue in the Keys is very confusing because you have the east and the west side, and the sun sets here and there. But the trick to the Keys is that the Keys actually go sort of like this, which is why, depending on where and how far along you are in the Keys, being on the Gulf side versus ocean side has a completely different connotation. And also orientation of the islands and obstruction and whatever. So in this particular case, it is going to set straight there, so I don't really have to be on the Gulf side. I do have a little trick that I'm willing to share with some of you. Most people just look at the sunset and look at the clouds and everything, but if you're looking for like good cinematography and just something to enjoy even more, look through the sunset through another object, whether it's the pier, the tree, I don't know, a gazebo or something like that. It just adds this ambiance to it, makes it more cinematic, especially if you set the right exposure on the camera. Well, I've learned a thing or two on this trip. Number one, you don't need that many days to enjoy the Keys, that's for sure. With the way things have worked out, I have, this was the sort of trip that I wanted to learn that specifically. So on my future comebacks to the Keys, I'm going to be structuring things completely different. Now here's another component of it. The weather in the Keys changes like every 5 minutes. It is just unbelievable. It is either calm or it is blowing like you wouldn't believe it. It is just so confusing, not even funny. So this morning, for example, I woke up at Bahia Honda, which is the campground that I would recommend instead of this Curry Hamock in which I'm in right now. And I tried to go swimming 3 times. The beach is covered in seaweed, and they make it explicitly clear that they're not going to do anything about it. They give some bullcrap story how it helps the birds and the bees and the whole spiel, and there's only like 3 birds on the beach that's like 2.5 miles long, whatever, you know what. And then you arrive to this Curry Hamock, which I've been to a couple days ago. So I'm here early, so I'm like, you know what, let me go ahead and do something. Why don't I go hiking? Gonna show you this map, right? It says Curry Hamock State Park, right there. Except for one problem. This hiking trail is across the highway about a mile away from here. So you have to cross, if you're doing this on foot, you have to cross a busy Highway 1 on foot and then hike through like 90-degree heat, parallel to the road essentially, to get there. They call it multi-use trail, that's what they call it. It's like a whatever. So you go there and then you could do the hike, or if you take your car, you drive like a mile there, you park in one place, and then you have to walk 300 yards just to be able to get to the entrance. So on that merit, I think Curry Hamock has failed substantially with the hiking thing and everything. Another thing is, like, for example, if I wanted to go, I don't know, kayaking or something like that. The kayaking here is really totally not worth it. They charge ridiculous, like $27 for a couple of hours or something like that. There's really nothing to see out here, and if you wanted to see the water, which I'm gonna go to in a little bit, it is blowing. It's like, it is so windy just by looking outside the window. Yeah. So on my future trips, I am going to be skipping Curry Hammock. You know, maybe to some people this is far better than Bahia Honda. You know, if you legitimately enjoy peace and quiet and just being in the middle of nowhere sort of deal, you don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to shop anywhere, you don't have to, I don't know, explore anything. This is just the perfect place for you. The beach is kind of like, okay, we'll give it like a presentable and respectable 3.5 out of 5. But I'm not a beach person, so there's that. You know, my family, on the other hand, they would just be clinching at their tinkle. You know, just looking at the watercolor, it's pretty darn cool, you know, for somebody from up north. But, you know, I see this sort of stuff on a regular basis just by being so outdoorsy, so you can't really impress me with that. That being said, the beach here is better, and I'm putting that in air quotes, than the Bahia Honda. And the reason why is because Bahia Honda, in their infinite wisdom, doesn't want to clean their beaches. So, from the beachness standpoint of a clean beach, this beach up here in Curry Hammock is better. But for the tropical feel and things to do and just generally spend a day enjoying kind of thing, Bahia Honda is just miles ahead, that's for sure. So I'm here for the next couple of days. You know, no matter how much I tried, you just can't reserve anything anywhere in the Keys, period. Despite the fact that every single campground is either sitting, you know, 3/4 empty or half empty or a third empty. People just reserve and don't show up. Yeah, I'm totally not okay with that. Totally not okay with that. So I gotta kill another couple of hours before my site clears up, and guess I'm gonna try and go swimming for the 4th time today.